Across the globe, corporations are pouring capital into artificial intelligence, driven heavily by a fear that their competitors will pull ahead. This bar chart tracks by exact spending stampede, showing an exponential rise that forecasts global AI capital expenditures reaching $2.59 trillion by 2026. But inside these organizations, a massive contradiction is emerging. Despite the historic volume of money being spent, most executives cannot locate the financial returns on their balance sheets. The ultimate test of business health is EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes. It is an unforgiving metric that strips away the hype and measures pure operational profitability. And right now, more than 80% of companies admit they are seeing zero tangible impact on their enterprise-level EBIT from AI. The reality is that purchasing access to high-end technology does not automatically generate enterprise value. The confusion usually begins with the pilot illusion. An executive sees an AI assistant successfully summarize a complex report or draft an email in a controlled test, and they mistakenly assume they have built a profitable system. That isolated test ignores the reality of enterprise scaling. Scaling requires taking that single AI tool and wiring it directly into real-world databases, complex legal constraints, and thousands of unpredictable human users. This pipeline makes the problem obvious. Despite a massive influx of pilots, only 25% deliver returns, and 16% scale. A model performs flawlessly in a vacuum, but forced to interact with legacy software, siloed databases, and human errors, the systems break completely. Proving a technology works in a sandbox is entirely useless if the organization surrounding it is not built to support its weight. Companies often try to measure success by tracking how many employees opened a tool or how many minutes they saved. That tracks software usage, not corporate profit. A strict return on investment, or ROI, demands a baseline cost and a measurable financial change. This split-screen logic model illustrates the trap. On the left side, an employee uses an AI assistant to save 10 minutes of work each day. But on the right, the corporate revenue trendline remains totally flat. If the business doesn't change its operations to convert that save time into new sellable output, the bottom line doesn't move. Speeding up a specific task does not generate a single dollar of additional profit on its own. A typical technology investment is expected to pay for itself in 7 to 12 months. But with AI, companies are finding that a positive return takes 2 to 4 years. That delay is the integration tax. This iceberg chart breaks down exactly what that tax looks like. The visible tip is the initial cost of the AI software. But lurking beneath the surface is a massive stack of hidden operational costs: cleaning raw data, expanding cloud capacity, building security controls, and training employees. You cannot repair a weak corporate database or a confused approval process simply by placing a highly advanced AI layer on top of it. An AI investment's timeline for success is dictated entirely by the structural health of the business, not the intelligence of the model. Without clear accountability, even a perfectly integrated system will drift into a financial black hole. This is where governance comes in. It is often dismissed as a bureaucratic committee designed to slow down innovation. In reality, it is the exact operational framework required to make financial measurement possible. Effective governance means assigning executive owners, demanding strict evidence of performance, and establishing thresholds for human intervention. By enforcing those boundaries, companies ensure their deployment is safe to scale across thousands of employees, and that its financial impact can actually be tracked. This Pareto chart reveals the stark divide in the corporate landscape right now. Just 20% of companies are capturing 74% of all the measured economic gains attributed to AI. The strategy separating that top tier from everyone else is workflow redesign. This requires completely stripping down a business function and rebuilding it with AI at the core. These leading companies avoid treating AI as a shiny software accessory. They use it to reinvent workflows entirely, hunting down new paths to revenue growth instead of just trying to cut costs. To extract real enterprise value, the work itself must change to fit the AI, rather than forcing the AI to fit outdated work. The current spending boom requires the exact same rigorous capital discipline that executives apply to any major strategic corporate commitment. Before a system gets funded, it needs a clear owner, a measurable target, a complete cost estimate, and a strict financial baseline. AI does not create enterprise value just because it is intelligent. It creates value when the business around it is redesigned intelligently. The strategy behind success. ReDecoded.